Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. As you can see, the market managed to find support above 60k after trapping a lot of late shorts that entered the market when Bitcoin was approaching 58k. So the question is, are we going to hold the 60k level? Can we start considering that this was just a deviation and now we should be targeting the top range? I will show you the indicators that can help us answer that question and a lot more. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. And if you feel like supporting the channel, watch this video until the very end and do not go anywhere without leaving a comment down below, because that's really helping the channel to continue growing. Don't forget to have a look in the description. I have a link to Bybit with 30,000 in rewards. And if you join my Discord server, we have now integrated Bybit, which means that you get massive discounts using your trading volume on this exchange. If you already have a Bybit account, there are now instructions here on how to transfer your account to our referral link so you can opt in for those massive discounts in TTP memberships. If you have any questions or you struggle to open an account on Bybit, let us know on Discord so we can try to help you. As I'm recording this video, I'm monitoring the 4-hour time frame on the RSI on Bitcoin, and we are starting to see some strength after seeing that the RSI made it to a level of 12. If you look back in time, those levels were only reached almost a year ago in August 2023 when we reached a level of 5. And if I remember right, that is the lowest RSI on 4-hour that Bitcoin has ever seen in full history. So being at a level of 12 is still not the lowest level ever, but definitely very low. The price is now approaching the same pattern, and the question is it going to face this line now as a resistance located at 62.2 and potentially seeing further rejection from there? Or all we needed to do is for the price to come into the CPR first line of support, and then we're gonna come back into the pivots. If we do a comeback towards those pivots, the expectation after you lose the pivots is that they become a strong level of resistance. So I think it might become a little bit tough to re-enter all this range. I'm hoping that we do a daily close above 61.5, as I mentioned on the daily chart, where we know that we have this as the range from 60.5 to 71.5. So re-entering that range is something bullish, but we need to hold above those levels. My preferred outcome will be that we now close above 60.5, that we retest once again, we turn it into a confirmed support, and then we see a breakout from this trend line to the upside. Be prepared for a rejection. We are currently still in the bullish scenario, but things could break anytime. We have this low here, then a higher low, and then another higher low. But we need to protect that higher low. We should not allow those shorts to win the battle and then push us below this low, breaking completely the structure, causing this to turn into a double top, an M pattern, and that is the recipe for get us into way larger trouble. One of the things that I'm tracking the most is the daily RSI. As you can see, we are still below this trend line. There are no news of the RSI daily to even approaching the level of resistance, which is located at 34 at the moment. To be honest, the same with the RSI. I would prefer here to put a higher low followed by a breakout of this line, rather than seeing straight away a breakout today, because that is very risky and it increases the chances of that becoming an actual fake out. It's always better to build structure before taking the steps. Yesterday, I published on my Twitter that I bought another entry at 60k. I'm planning to add more as long as we continue below this line. I'm planning to DCA in this area here. If that happens, if we break out from here, I'm planning to find areas where to take profits. I remind you that my setup is for swing trades. In the rest of the video, I'm also going to cover the weekly time frame where I don't necessarily have very good news. So all the setups that I'm covering on the 4-hour and on the daily are pretty much for having good entries and then dumping them back into the market. Bitcoin in terms of socials is underperforming, which can turn very quickly here into a great entry for a long, similar to what we have around here when Lunar Crash Alt Rank made to a level of 66. At the moment it's at 62 and it's already crossing above the line of the statistics, just like it happened around here, but it still hasn't printed the actual signal. In terms of the ratio of longs and shorts, the delta is showing us that we are still in a scenario where the shorts are dominating. We are at the lower end of the indicator, meaning that the shorts are still entering very aggressively. It will be great to see the longs stepping in and controlling this towards the top of the range. You can see that the battle has started. We printed a low and now somehow we can see a tiny bit of control from the longs, and as a result the price has made it to 61.6. The S&P continues going lower, and after our high signal from yesterday we are on the way towards the target of 5.3k. Yesterday's candle is showing a big wick to the upside, meaning that the shorts are starting to take control. On the RSI daily, we are approaching the support, which is coming very soon at 63. The level of 63 in the price is located right at support at 5.4k. The NASDAQ is taking the lead in terms of the sell out. It was running very hot. It made it to the top of the channel of the TTP RSI VIP, and once it crossed below, that was the sell signal, and right now is losing momentum on the daily. It's already in the median in terms of the RSI at 62, and if it loses the median, we might see a larger sell out in the NASDAQ. And this is pretty much led by what's going on with Nvidia, which is causing a lot of panic everywhere. If you're following me on Twitter, I gave you the perfect entry. I told you precisely on this day that we are printing a very ugly candle and that after the hype, I'm expecting to see turmoil. I gave you a target of 110 for Nvidia, and today we are at 118, so I wouldn't enter right now at the short. The perfect entry was at the close of that red candle and at the breakdown of the RSI in terms of the momentum, and right now we have crossed the median and we are on the way to find support at an RSI of 40, which is currently located at 105, but definitely that is going to drag the NASDAQ down. What we've been seeing in the market is that Bitcoin and crypto are anticipating the sells from the traditional markets. Somehow, the whales, the larger wallets in crypto, are very well informed and they tend to react much quicker than the rest of the traditional markets. Usually you see Bitcoin selling, and if the sell on Bitcoin continues, a couple of days after you see the stock market also having some retracement. The phases of the moon has been so far a bit disappointing. As you can see with the white one here, we used to have very good moves to the upside, with the exception of this situation here. And even though we started on Saturday this new phase of the moon, we are going in the opposite direction. So hopefully this is going to recover. Otherwise, I might as well start ignoring the phases of the moon. Let me know in the comments what is your opinion in trading those signals. And a little bit of hopium, I'm gonna show you some very early signals from divergences. I remind you that these divergences are appearing on a live candle. So by the close of this candle, these divergences might increase in number or they might completely disappear from the map. They do repaint if the candle is still live, but I still like to see things in development to prepare myself for what to expect. And I see that we have 5 bullish divergences in this candle in progress. You can see here that we have a massive green candle and that printed 10 bullish divergences. That was enough to make a move of 6% to the upside. This area here is a clear area of distribution. In the bull market on the daily, we have seen plenty of times that areas of 6, 5 and 7 bullish divergences tend to have some positive effect for what's next. I'll continue to keep you updated on this. If this number changes and you check my Twitter, you're going to get notified to see whether they're gone or if we are getting new ones. I'm closely monitoring the bull market support band. You can see that this is starting to look a little bit bullish because we are leaving a massive wick here to the downside. Not as big as this one, but if we were able to reduce this body here and even to end up with a small green candle with a big wick to the downside, there will be no doubt that there is a reversal to the upside from here, like it happened, for example, here and also here. And today, for the first time in a long time, we have the fear and greed index giving us fear. We are at a level of 30. We're very close to extreme fear, which is actually unexpected. If you watched yesterday's video, I was expecting to go into the 40s today, and we made it straight into the 30s. In the bull market, it's very typical that you get to levels of 36, 37, 38, but I'm quite surprised to see a level 30 today. That's a big move into the fear. People were asking for it, and now you got it. We are into full fear territory. The ETF flows continue day by day. I can see that the sales are reducing, but still, every day you get an overall negative number. The weekly continues to be in the area that is forbidden to be, which is below the full bull run support that started from 2022. And my question continues to be whether we are going to see these head and shoulders playing out, taking us to 36 in the RSI, which corresponds today with 47.2K. In order for this to come back above support, we need the price to close above 63.5. That will put this RSI, instead of pointing down, it will point up, and it will look like another retest of the support. But for that, the price needs to go fully above this line. So by Sunday, let's cross our fingers that we are above 63.3, and then we have a resumption. Then we have a very quick recovery. Below that number, things might bleed for a little bit longer. And the recipe to get us to 63.3 is all this liquidity that is here. So the question is, are the whales going to want to consume this liquidity? Are they going to find it easy to pump the price to 63.3 and hold it there? Is there enough incentive to continue going higher? Or are they just going to go into 65.6, use the liquidity from the fair value gaps, and then continue to 55? No one can tell you. It is not easy, but let's continue looking into more data. On the 30-day, we can see that we have a big chunk here located from 64 to just above 65. We have also big liquidity at 67 and at 70K. Below the price, the lucky ones that manage to buy below 60 have created new liquidity, but it's not as substantial as the one that we have above there, at least from the past 30 days. FAR charts continues to show very humble liquidity holding the price. We have 20 million here and 20 million there, all the way to 55K, but nothing compared to the selling wall that we have starting from 70K, at least in the past 1 month. Things don't change that much when we look at 6 months. Nothing compared to the support that we used to see at the beginning of May here that caused a reversal. It is what it is. We're buying into this sellout here, but then they started selling as the price approached below 60. In the live order book, looking at the 15 minutes, we can see that currently we are being rejected by this top, potentially creating a double top on the 15 minutes. We have resistance at 61.8 and a level of 62.6 has been pulled out. The strongest support is this cloud here from 60 to 59.2 with levels averaging 500 per level. The 58.2 has reduced the liquidity from 300 to barely 240. So now the question is, why are they pulling out this liquidity from here and from here? Is it because they think that the price is going to continue going higher and now they rather shorten it from there? Or is it because they do not think that the price can get back here at 58K? We can see that the open interest has reset quite a lot. We are now at 74K coming from 81K. That means that multiple sides have now been punished, but mostly the longs that got liquidated on all this way down here. And this signal that occurs when the global longs come back below 70, the only thing I can say is that it continues to climb back up. The last time that it went this high was in the 30th of April. Right after that, it managed to cross below 70, which is the actual signal that we are expecting to happen. The good news is that things are aligning with the performance of this one here. We are having again fear in the market, and the fear together with this coming back below 70 might be a really strong signal to buy. I'll let you know on my Twitter as soon as we get this signal triggering. We're still in a Bitcoin season at a level of 22 today, and you can see that from yesterday, from the area of oversold, now all the coins are back into the neutral. You should watch my video from yesterday again and zoom in into this area, because all the coins that were here were showing weakness, whereas many of them, even while we were dumping, they still held at a level of 50. And that means that those coins were very resilient. If you want to trade them, focus on those. And the big news of the day is that even though Bitcoin dumped and it shows some volatility, the Bitcoin dominance went down and it made a low of 54.3%. That means that once again we are losing this trend line around here. And as we've been saying for a long time, the RSI told us mid-May that the dominance was losing momentum. And you can see that even though we made a push higher, we didn't manage to re-enter above neither of these trend lines, and potentially we might put a lower low in the RSI weekly on the Bitcoin dominance. If that happens, we might as well lose this level, and we might continue going lower. It is not guaranteed. It's too early to say. This might play out in a couple of months, but that is the recipe for the altcoins to have an altcoin season. We're just in a very early stage of the setup. I'm also seeing that Ethereum, after retesting the white line of support, right now is coming back out from this area here. And I don't hear anybody talking about this in regards to Ethereum, which is what is needed as well for the altcoin season to come sooner than expected. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like and leave a comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.